So, I take the opportunity to thank Indian Academy of Science, my gratitude for inviting me and asking me to share some of the results. Although, as Madam said, Chairperson, that I retired from IITM, but what I will share here is our latest work that just before retirement I could complete, and it is now formally being inaugurated by Honorable Minister and so on, and now it is being implemented across India as a Bharat forecast systems. Okay, and so the title and of the talk is an indigenous kilometer scale model to improve monsoon extreme precipitation deadlock. So, I will try to argue what is the deadlock, why is the deadlock, why on earth there was a need of a kilometer scale model, if we would not have done this, what would have happened, and so on. And there is not a very big group, but a few scientists who all worked for almost 5 years to complete this model. We started the work in 2017 and got it completed by 2022, evaluated the model for 22, 23, 24, and then handed it over to IMD in 25. This is the sequence. Okay, so this is the I will go to introduction. So this is the paper. Paper is, and the good thing is everything is free. This paper is free. Anybody can download. The model is free. Anybody can download the model. If you have a HPC, you can run it, and the data also will be free. So everything is free. The code is free. So that was a challenge actually, because see, always we normally adopt model from US or some other places, and now it is becoming more and more difficult. Models are not getting free. So there was a need actually. So the students can actually do experiments using even National Supercomputer Mission or any grid with this model. So just this is a background. So what are the key challenges of numerical weather? NWP means numerical weather prediction. By the way, I was told that the slide should be very general, so there is no equation, no physical, chemical, mathematical equations, although behind the scene there are many equations. Okay, and so anybody can understand, even arts, commerce, science, anybody. So this is philosophy actually. This is a paper written by Peter Bauer of UCMWF, published in 2015 in Nature, and he said that this numerical weather prediction is a quiet revolution. And now what we are seeing nowadays is AIML, we say another quiet revolution, okay, which possibly will replace this numerical weather predictions. But anyway, this figure basically explains very nicely the complications. Okay, these are the systems which we all come across in various time scale and space scales, like convection, storms, tropical cyclones, okay, monsoon, and so on. And what you can see is that if I increase my model resolution, my model complexity increases, okay, and then so many other things comes. Computing increases, okay, coupling increases. Coupling means you have to then consider ocean, you have to consider land, and so on. But if you consider turbulence, okay, your ocean, etc., may not be so much of importance to be coupled, okay. So this actually in one figure, Peter very nicely summarized the complexity that we are going to deal with. The second slide, there was a virtual experiment called Year of Tropical Convection, paper published in Bulletin of American Met Society in 2012, and here actually the author Mitch Moncrief, they explained from observations, and you can see very clearly that it is diurnal scale. I mean, you can see that the temperatures, what we experience in the morning and what we experience in the noon and what again we experience in the nights are not same. This is what we call diurnal. The rainfall, again, it's not same. What we in many places we find rainfall happens in the late evening hours. Some place in India we experience rainfall in the early morning hours, and so on. So these daily, sub-daily variations are considered to be diurnal. But and this is seasonal cycle of what happens in June, July, August, September in the total season. But very interestingly, these are all linked. Okay, so if I try to predict the seasonal cycle, I have to keep in my mind even the variations in diurnal scale. So this makes the whole thing very complex, that you have to model a system which has a connections from sub-daily scale within an hour to a month to a season. Okay, this makes the whole physics very, very complex. Okay, actually one of my physics teachers told you will never be able to solve this problem. Okay, yeah, but anyway, so we are still trying that. But before going to my kilometer scale, I always show this figure to all my students, and here also there may be many students. So this was the first history when we started this numerical weather prediction. Von Neumann standing here, Jules Charny. It's 1945, ENIAC computer in Princeton, right? So this was the history, and this was a recreation of the forecast. I mean the paper that they published. This was done by Peter Lynch in 2008 in BAMS. So what you see here is that this is the initial analysis, okay, and this is the verifying analysis. Basically, you can see it is the observations. Okay, this is the initial observation. This is the final observations, and you can see there is kind of congested line. So this you can think of that this is a system. It's a low pressure or depressions or anything. Okay, weather disturbance that has moved here. Okay. And what they tried is a very simple model, just 24-hour forecast, okay, and this is the difference, okay. The red lines are difference, okay. So what you can see is that and this is actually the forecast, okay. So you can actually see that their forecast was not that great, because in actual verification it is here and here it is left of the line, but still in 1945 they have done a great job, okay. But there was an error that you can see very clearly, okay. But then in 2009 we published this paper, and we were trying to see not exactly that similar to what they did, but we were trying is somewhat similar. So monsoon we were trying to see, we are trying to see the daily convergence. We know when monsoon comes the wind has to converge to bring the rain, and this is what we have plotted here is a upper level divergence. This is a mass continuity. If there is a lower level convergence, it has to diverge in the upper level, right? So you see the divergence in the upper level is propagating northward. That only brings monsoon, right? And this is the lower level convergence. You see lower level convergence also propagating, upper level divergence also propagating. This means your wind and rain and everything is propagating northward. That's how we get rain, right, in monsoon. But in just 24 hours, okay, this is the forecast, okay. You don't see the propagation at all. So it is in the year 2006. You see, so this is one deadlock. Okay, 1945 you just saw, and this is in 2006. This was a model by US. Okay, NCEP GFS. So we noticed it very badly, and this is a paper in 2020. Okay, and here what you see is a series of climate models. This is CMIP 3. This is CMIP 5. This is CMIP 6. CMIP 6 is the last AR 6 report, the climate IPCC. Okay, and you see what is plotted is mean error of rainfall. Okay, and the green line means excess rain, and the brown means the deficient rain. What you can broadly see in all, right from CMIP 3 to CMIP 6, okay, all oceans are raining more. All lands are raining less, but we live in land, right? So where actually disaster strikes, and so lands are raining less and oceans are raining more. This is another deadlock. The deadlock is continuing, right? So, and this was another paper we published in 2010, just using different physics. I'm not going into the detail. This is observations. Again, you can see rain. Monsoon doesn't come in a continuous manner. It comes in epoch. Sometimes it rains, then it's break, then again it rains, and so on, right? We call it intra-seasonal oscillations. You can see it here, okay? There is a epoch here, there is a epoch here, and so on. But you see the model, it keeps on running, okay? You don't see the epoch, okay? So why this deadlock, okay? And what's going wrong? This is the next question, naturally comes to our mind. So this was an error actually, where back in 1974, we actually celebrated 50 years of this last year. Okay, there was a conference in US. So this was proposed by Arakawa. He was in UCLA. He passed away in 2020. Arakawa and Ben Seward. He was in Colorado State. What they said is a closure. Okay, and all model till today follow very honestly this closure. And what is that closure? The closure is that a large scale process will control your moist convective process, and the feedback will go back to large scale process. To be more little more clear, the same diagram with little more background, little more detail. The large scale process is nothing but some example is monsoon, which is bringing the moisture. Okay, if you add moisture in the atmosphere, it will create instability, because it's very simple. The molecular weight of water is 18 and molecular weight of air is 30. Okay, if you replace the lower level by 18 and upper is 30, the top heavy system is unstable. So that is nothing but destabilizations. Okay, so destabilization is created by the addition of moisture. Destabilization means instability. How do we measure instability? Is by convective available potential energy. This is a term we use in climate science. It's called CAPE. Okay, and so, but then atmosphere cannot remain unstable. We know in physics it has to come to equilibrium, right? So moist convective energy produces kinetic energy. That's what we call it weather. We call it storm. We get strong winds, right? So it generates kinetic energy. That's weather. Okay. The result is warming and drying to bring the atmosphere back. That's a feedback. The unstable atmosphere bring it back to stable. Okay. So what he said, Arkham and Schubert, that this process that generates the instability and the process that consumes the instability, they are in equilibrium. So the rate by which the instability is generated and the rate by which it is consumed, they are in equilibrium. Example, you are driving a scooter, bike, car, anything, right? And when you are driving at certain speed, it requires certain rate of fuel, right? So the rate of supply of fuel and rate of consumption of fuel has to be equal, right? If it is more, then it will spill. If it is less, it will stop. So that's the equilibrium. But the fact of the matter is, what we found nowadays, that this equilibrium assumption is failing. Okay, it's not realistic. That we have published a GRL paper, and these are the models. You know, all gone into CMIP 6. Okay, they all use the same assumption. This is a deadlock. Okay, and unfortunately, we could not find another convective closure till date. We don't have any closure. As a result of that, you could see this is a diurnal variations of rainfall and outgoing long wave radiation. Outgoing long wave radiation is nothing but the top of the cloud radiations. Okay, so if the cloud is top, you will see the temperature is low. Okay, and you see here we plotted a scatter diagram. So early morning, okay, cloud is not so deep. Okay, but by the time it comes to 5:30, the cloud is deep because it is reaching to 210 Kelvin, right? And the rainfall also is increasing. So there is a variation of cloud and rainfall. But what the model is doing throughout the day, it is continuously raining in the same. That's what is reflected in all other previous figure. Okay, so that's what is seen here. Okay, so the cloud is continuous. It remains same. It doesn't grow in the model. Okay. Okay, I will skip this. So this is what I show it to my students, is that how cloud actually, we have studied in our physics class, geography. So cloud, the moisture goes up, condense, rainfall. Okay, but you see the box. It is a kilometer scale box. So if I want to come very near to the cloud and get rid of that inaccurate closure, then my resolution has to be 1 kilometer. Okay. This is an example. Okay, so Arakawa later on in 2013 he realized, okay, and he said that one of the possible solution is you go to global cloud resolving model. He himself prescribed in 2013. Okay, and so but before going to the model, is there any societal need? Okay, the question is yes. There are multiple studies by now. First by B.N. Goswami 2006, then by Rajivan et al. 2006, then my friend Roxy et al. In 2017. All are unanimously suggesting that extremes are increasing. You and me also are agreeing. You and me also are experiencing extreme rains, extreme heat. Everything is increasing, right? And the benchmark, devastation, heavy rain is the Kerala event of August 2018 and 2019. And what we noticed is that that was the rain when the rainfall deviation was something like 30, 40, 50 sigma. I really don't know there is any system in science that deals with such a variability. So this was the rainfall, and you can see by all the GFS, ECM and NCO and model, UK model, Europe model and US model, none of them could capture this rainfall at all. Okay, I'll skip this. Now this is AIML model. Okay, this is by NVIDIA ForecastNet. This is by GraphCast, and you can see they are not capturing this extreme rain either. Okay, so we should not be in a idea that the AIML can solve all my problems. Okay, and because I am in Berhampur in 2023, I saw this enormous event in Bhubaneswar by afternoon 2:30. The rainfall, there was no rainfall. By the time I come in evening, it was something like cloudburst. Okay, this is happening very frequently. There was a paper by Rajivan et al. They are also documenting that extreme heavy rainfall is increasing, and so that's how this is the motivations that if you increase the resolution, go to a cloud resolving scale, you can possibly resolve this event. So keeping this in mind, we developed this grid which is called octahedral grid. No time to go into that, but you can at least appreciate that we come close to the equator, the number of grids increases, so we have the better chance to resolve the high frequency waves. Okay, there are many advantages. One advantage is it takes less time. It is scalable. If you have more computer nodes, it can run even faster. And this is the just schematic where we show this is the grid. Then we ran a aquaplanet mode. Then we added the land. Then we added the orography. Then we added the vegetations. Then we get the full 3D model. It took 5 years. Okay, 17 to 2022. Okay, this is one result where you can see that these are all spurious rain. Actually, forecaster will think there is a very heavy rain. These are all errors. Okay, those errors have almost gone in this model. Somebody was talking about Saran other was talking about the tails. This model actually captures the tail pretty good. Okay, and this is the the one case of heavy rainfall. You can see even after 5-day forecast, it is capturing the rainfall where the current coarser model is not able to do that. And a tropical cyclone, it is particularly doing really good. Okay, the errors in tropical cyclone has drastically reduced, where it is 298 kilometer, here it is just 50 kilometers. So yeah, so my concluding remarks is that it is there. I will not read it. So I will end it, and this is the photo. There was a ceremony in Delhi. So Honorable Minister and Secretary, Director General, they handed over. So this model is currently operational across India. So I stop here, and thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. I think it's also well within the time, and it's open for questions. I'm sure there would be few. Any, yeah.
In terms of weather prediction,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
in terms of weather prediction that is used locally, are they used in various places in India, your model?
Yeah, now this year they are going to use this model.
Not yet, I see.
Yeah, it has started. They have started using it from 1st June itself.
So then we can rely on the weather prediction. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you. That was a nice talk. I was just wondering, what is the kind of computational requirement? So, say for if you want to do simulation for 1 day's prediction, how long does it take on the computer, and on which type of computer do you use?
Okay, actually you can check our paper. There we have given a detailed graph, but currently we have a petaflop machine in IITM. In that machine, this model is taking around 3 hours for a 10-day forecast. But there is a detail of nodes and computer processors, etc. I can share you the detail.
So in the model, over how wide a span of geography does the input data come in to make the prediction?
From where? you
Yeah,
asked it.
from where all does it come from? The entire globe? Or?
Yeah, entire globe. Yeah. So we have a center in Noida. So they have a receiver, and in this domain there is no boundary. All country they share honestly their data. It is shared in GTS, Global Telecom System, and it is received in a coded form, decoded, quality controlled, and then assimilated, and then the initial condition is prepared. And then this model story starts.
But the model predictions are specific for India, or they are also for the entire globe?
For entire globe, but because we are too obsessed with India, and I mean reasonably so, we always highlight India, but it is global.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So does it predict what's going to happen? Because I've been in Rajasthan for the last 4 years, and every year there's more and more rain coming.
So, madam,
seems to be.
I give you an honest answer that no model can predict such a complex system 100% accurate, but definitely this model performs better than what we have earlier. And one metric is I always tell that earlier you used to see Times of India, RK Lakshman every day a cartoon for whether man or woman. When now cartoonist doesn't make so many cartoons on weather, so perhaps we are performing better than what we used to do earlier.
Thank you so much.